All right, second take. First take was just not gonna work, but no ring light, no editing. This is just gonna be straight up, baby. We just gonna hit you with the facts of the situation. I quit my job after 7 years. I was making damn near $65,000 a year. I just got engaged. Everything was lining up perfect, baby. I was gonna work at the family business. I was gonna rise to the top, get that six-figure salary, that fucking company car, man, and I was, boom, I was successful. I did it. But then I fucking quit. So, here we are. I quit my job after 7 years. Why? I felt that I was living to work every day. I woke up at 6 and showed up to my job at 7 and got home, and by the time I got home, I didn't want to do anything. I had no energy for anything. I had no passion for anything, because frankly, I was just dreading my next work day, and I couldn't do it anymore. I simply couldn't do it. I saw people in their 30s unhappy. I saw electricians in their 40s unhappy. I saw project managers in their 50s unhappy. Okay? They're all doing the same thing. Everybody is doing the same thing. We are all just coping with the situation that we have through materialism, through drugs, through alcohol, through going on a vacation every 6 months, or that next car or that next iPhone. We're all just using the money that they're giving us to distract ourselves from the lack of substance in our lives. Like, we play video games that are just all about hiking through nature. Like, 75% of what you do in Skyrim is walking through a forest. Did you know you could just go out and do that? You don't have to, all we're doing now is simulating what life could be like if we didn't have these 40-hour work weeks, or this manager that always wanted us to work overtime, or, this goal of reaching this certain number in our bank account. If we could just let all that go, you're free to do whatever you want. Do you have to feed yourself? Yeah. Do you have to clothe yourself? Yeah. Do you need shelter? Yeah. But outside of that, whatever you're able to be happy with, that's all you need. And if you continue to subtract and subtract and subtract and subtract, eventually you won't need to work 40 hours a week. You won't need a $1,500 paycheck. You won't need anything like that. You won't need to be fucking working as hard, because you're not chasing all this stuff that you thought was necessary. Bear with me here, but if you're living a lie, you need to spend all this money to make it bearable. But if you quit all the shit that just does not line up with your heart, the job that you hate, the degree that you're going for that your parents want you to get, the car that you're only paying for so you can post on Instagram, if you could just let go of all of that shit and be happy without it, baby, this game gets so much easier. Everything gets so much easier. But when you're grinding, and we all are told the same thing from commercials and people we watch on the internet and everything, that you need to grind. You got to escape the matrix. And the only way to escape the matrix is to make a shitload of money. That's the only way to get out of here, is to make a shitload of money. Not really. Because those people that say that are driving McLarens. They're living in $5 million houses. They're, they got places in Romania and all over the world that they're traveling to on jets that cost $500,000 just to run. And they say, oh, the only way to make it out of the fucking matrix is to make millions of dollars. But ultimately, all they're telling you to do is just dive into the matrix. Work more hours, make more money. Just get obsessed with it. get obsessed with material objects and just chase and chase and chase. That's not escaping anything. You're just diving deeper into it. And the mentality that you would have to adopt to make that kind of money, the dog-eat-dog personality that one has to be an entrepreneur, you would not come out the other side of that a person that you would want to look in the mirror at. Like, so do you need to make a ton of money to escape, or do you just need to be able to live without most things? I don't know. But what I did know is that every time I got a raise or a promotion, I didn't care. All I knew was, wow, now more of my life is going to be taken up by this career. Great. You know, maybe it's because I turned 25. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's all. It's all stemming from the quarter life crisis. You know. But I figured I'd start making videos because I quit my job and I felt confident in myself, but then I started to panic and I went on the internet looking for people with similar situations, and frankly they didn't exist. Everybody that said, oh, I left everything and gave up my job and blah, blah, blah. Okay, but you have $500,000 in the bank. So, you know, or, you know, you have the best one is, guys, I quit my job, I'm going on the road, I'm going to travel. And then you look down, you scroll down, and they're at like 8.5 million subscribers. They have a Yeti sponsorship, and they're sponsored by Nike. And you're like, oh, well, yeah, that's not really the situation that I'm in, you know. I don't have any sponsorships. I have my phone that I'm filming on right now. I'm not editing, I'm not using a ring light, I'm not doing any of that shit. I don't care. I just figure I'd document it, because if I do make it through this time in my life and I don't die on the road or run out of money or get arrested or whatever, and I somehow manage to have a family one day and you know, however it all turns out, I want to have documentation of what happens when you just quit. What happens when you just give up and you say, I don't want to play the game anymore, you know. Thanks for watching. If this seems like something that somebody you know would be interested in, feel free to share the video. I'm going to keep posting. I don't know when the next video will be. I'm trying to save up money for a van right now so I can move out of my buddy's house and not have to pay rent. So that's the next goal.